Ed Miliband's leadership was under growing pressure today as another senior MP hit out at the party's drift. Veteran backbencher Graham Stringer accused the shadow cabinet of failing to take the fight to the Tories and said the party lacked a clear policy agenda. He said Peter Mandelson should be brought back to fix Labour's growing problems. In a blunt message to the Labour leader, who returns from a 2-week break tomorrow, the MP said the party was genuinely worried about the deafening silence of the frontbench team. It's not quite clear what our policies on welfare are, what our policies on housing are, what our policies on education are, he said. Mr. Stringer said there was enormous loyalty to Mr. Miliband, but he added that the idea the party was united was a bit of mirage. I think the real worry is the sort of almost deafening silence that has been from the shadow cabinet at a time of the year is traditionally a ripe time for the opposition to attack the government. While the government are on their holidays and thinking about other things, the opposition has always used that as a way to put policies in the public's mind and to have a go at anywhere where the government has failed. So I think the party is genuinely worried about the lack of activity in the shadow cabinet, Mr. Stringer told the BBC's World This Weekend. He added, I think a huge opportunity is being missed. And I suppose the second worry is that I don't believe that members of the shadow cabinet are lazy in any sense. I think it is stemming from the lack of coherence and cogence of our policies. Although I don't expect Ed Miliband and other members of the shadow cabinet to write out what exactly is going to be an out manifesto in 20 months' time, I do expect that the public should be told and the party should be able to support very clear and coherent policies. The MP went on to call for Peter Mandelson-type figure to be given control of the party's election strategy. Whether he's willing or he's the right person, I don't know. But somebody of his ability needs to be in that position, he said. The call was echoed by Labour MP Ian Austin, who said Lord Mandelson was the best in the business. Mr. Stringer is the latest senior Labour figure to voice doubts about the party's direction. At the weekend, Shadow Health Secretary Andy Burnham said they had until this spring to spell out its ideas in a way that captures how people are feeling and thinking. And backbencher George Moody warned the party appeared hesitant and confused because of Mr. Miliband's failure to spell out a clear agenda to voters. Mr. Miliband is planning a September reshuffle to address the lack of dynamism on the front bench. The changes are expected to see promotions for rising stars such as Lucia Berger, Stella Creasy and Kian Mura. Allies today called on the party to stop the internal rowing and show some discipline. Labour MP John Mann said Mr. Miliband should give the boot to whinging MPs. His colleague John Ashworth also defended the leadership, saying the party had set out a string of policy measures from bringing back the 10p tax rate to reforming Social Security. Ed Miliband is showing strong leadership and is giving direction. He was the first major UK politician to start talking about this cost of living crisis that is affecting ordinary hard-working people across the country. It's been Labour figures out in the media this week pointing out that hard-working people are worse off under this Tory government than they were 3 years ago, he said. But Mr. Ashworth admitted Labour needed to work harder to get its message across. I entirely concede that over the next 20 months, as we run up to that 2015 general election, it is now time for us to come out with further radical, bold eye-catching policies, he said.